Who's the latest judge in trouble in Connecticut? Well, let me take you there, and you decide. It's really that simple. If you go to this page, you will see that Linda D'Alessio sued Scott Bates, and the Waterbury JD, Kimberly Massacat, has committed treason. For sure. Here is a memorandum in support of a motion. Wow. Defendant Deputy Secretary of State Scott Bates, memorandum in support of his motion to dismiss. What does he talk about? Plaintiff seeks an injunction prohibiting Deputy Secretary from destroying the cast vote record. What's that all about? The cast vote record will prove the fraud of the 2020 election and the fraud of the 2022 election. Now here we go. She asked for the 2020 election cast vote record. I did too. I also asked for the 2022 cast vote record. Scott Bates says Connecticut does not and cannot create CVRs. That is a false statement. That is treason, okay? The cast vote record is immensely important to prove what is likely true, that Leslie DeNardis won, that Rosa DeLauro lost, that Ned Lamont may have lost to Stefanowski. The cast vote record will prove many things. Everyone who took a picture of my ballot wrote it in. The state of Connecticut says I got no votes in 2020. That's impossible because I have 22 pictures of the ballots. The state of Connecticut says I got no votes in 2022. That's impossible. That's impossible because I took pictures. So did other people. So here we go. The state of Connecticut, through GEMS, produces a CVR. And we're all trying to get them. And thankfully, Miss D'Alessio sued Scott Bates in 2022 and put on the record his response, which is right here, which is perjury. This is perjury, folks. The cast vote record used by Connecticut do not produce CVRs. Yes, they do. The memory cards used in the tabulators are programmed to contain the coordinates of the ovals on the ballots for a particular election. When the ballot is sent through the tabulator, it registers the ovals filled in by the voter in particular coordinates. Well, gee, that's all true. But where does he go astray? The audit scanner is a scanner that allows the ballots to be passed through and counted. The audit station is capable of producing CVRs, but Connecticut does not use that. Oh, but the audit of Yukon does. The audit of Yukon requires it. So what happens is the audit is falsified by Yukon. Why? I'll tell you why. Or maybe I won't. The fact is 57 memory cards were checked. 37 were defective. That's not an audit, folks. That's a corruption. That is a corruption. If you read the rest of his legal basis, you will see that he is perjuring himself quite often. Associates use the GEMS software to produce the memory cards for the tabulator machines. Oh, is that true? No. The tabulators recognize that a voter has filled in the bubble. Well, I asked for the 2020 election stuff in 2020. I asked for the election stuff for 2022 in 2022. I actually asked Ted Bromley for the election fraud data in August, okay, prior to the election. And I have sent a subpoena for the CVR through a federal lawsuit. So now there's a state lawsuit of this beautiful lady who I don't even know, never contacted. But these transcripts describe just the tip of the iceberg that Connecticut hacked 20 other states will be revealed through the cast vote record. The 2 o'clock in the morning download and reversal of the votes created a victim, and the spoils of Scott Bates's actions. There are other transcripts where other Connecticut officials, the plaintiff's claims fail to exhaust her administrative remedies before the commission. Not true. I have 21 outstanding FOIA. 21. And they go back to 2018, folks. So we have a problem here. Yes, fraud upon the court, lying to a judge, the judge giving them sovereign immunity for lies. And now, what happens then? There are criminal acts. We need a military tribunal, and we need it now. Because if Danbury, Connecticut hacked Pennsylvania and flipped votes, that can be proven. I have the data. If other towns like Shelton hacked other states, if Enfield hacked Massachusetts, if Vermont was hacked and flipped, if Wisconsin electoral college votes were flipped because of Connecticut, that judge, Blowy, Kavanewski, Kremrich, okay, are covering up massive election fraud. So, I'm not saying that this judge misled the state. I'm saying this judge misled the country. Have a great day. 8 minutes. Wow.